Sam Elliott is a master listener. His words always find their mark. Also, he is serious when he calls someone out by name. Most films have their own unique qualities that make them stand out. For more than half a century, Sam Elliott has represented an alternative Hollywood, subdued power, timeless values. Even if that mustache is all eyes on him, the man beneath it is cold and unapologetic. So it's not for publicity that he lists his 6 favorite actors. Headlines aren't important. The topic at hand is legacy, the type of performer who can hold a scene without amplification. This is the type that allows quiet to speak volumes. Heavy Rain, Tombstone, and The Big Lebowski. The year 1883. Over the course of his career, Sam has been involved in Tombstone. However, there is one constant: true ones are known to him. The ones who turn up, get things done, and then leave without requesting praise. A claim like one of the best from Sam is like having your likeness etched into stone. Although he has studied and worked with many legendary figures, only a few number have truly impressed him. Here are 6 actors whom Sam Elliott holds in the highest regard, along with the reasons why they didn't have to work for it. A few actors enter the stage. As if he had always been there, Gary Cooper slid into one. Being a movie star was never Sam Elliott's childhood dream. From a young age he aspired to be that. He was an authoritative figure who could hold a room by himself. Someone with such commanding presence that they could effortlessly propel a film forward. Was a personal code. Elliott put it once. Cooper was the one Sam Elliott saw live in a cowboy hat long before he wore one himself. At midday, Sergeant York appeared in The Westerner. Not only were these videos educational, but they also taught lessons in gravity, the unquantifiable kind, and control. As for High Noon, that one lingered in his mind. Elliott envisioned it as a young boy, a town at noon, a lone man up against the clock and his own fears, black and white, and the sun. Cooper remained composed throughout. With his back straight and his spirit tormented, he stood there and allowed stillness to crush him. The performance that taught me how to listen was how Sam subsequently characterized it. Under duress, Cooper betrayed no signs of manhood. That was him. Without a single misstep, every glimmer of uncertainty, agony, and responsibility shone through. According to Elliott, that constraint became his compass. Scenes weren't killed by Gary Cooper because he didn't try to win over the crowd. What he chewed on was scenery. He gave the story room to grow and dissolved into it. In retrospect, Elliott's own directors would describe him as a heavy ghost, a rock, or the spine. The genetic material, unadulterated Cooper. Performance wasn't the only factor. The subject was philosophy. Cooper never pulled the fast one, or compromised his principles for the sake of fame. There was a hidden code even in his comedic parts. That same inner compass is evident in Sam's work. Every time he set foot on a set, the Cooper ghost was there, and he never played it cool. He always played it honest. Elliott will never boast about his work, but when you mention the one name that gives him pause, you can hear his voice quiver a little. Hello, Gary. Simply put, the industry is impacted by certain actors. After meeting Gary Cooper, Sam was transformed. Put Clint Eastwood in second place. As time goes on, certain actors evolve. Outlived them all was Clint Eastwood. Sam Elliott has always been forthright about it. He looks up to Clint as an example of how to stay sharp as you get older in the industry and in westerns in general. As Sam put it, he didn't reinvent the wheel. He persisted until all others were forced to play catch-up. Not only the responsibilities, but also the power and control are at issue. Eastwood never gives the impression that he is attempting when he enters a scene. Instead, he asserts his presence. Because Clint's eyes have always had that combination of icy logic and weathered truth, Sam respects that. Unforgiven, Gran Torino, and Mystic River's director isn't after legacy. One subtle performance at a time, he is constructing it. Elliott witnessed the positive, negative, and ugly in cinemas. Afterwards, yet again. However, everything clicked into place with Pale Rider. He claimed it was the silence that Clint achieves by making empty space seem more audible than actual sound. Elliott perceives something more profound than cooperation in Eastwood, thus it is unnecessary that they have never shared a screen. This is acknowledgement. The same academy. Identical silent code. They both crawled up from the mud and squeezed in through the rear entrance. Fair treatment of all parties. None of that hoopla, just be consistent, patient, and give it time. They both understood early on. Hollywood values loudness, but it never forgets moderation. He became an expert at it. Clint, his male characters were never clingy and insecure. He portrayed men who were confident in themselves and didn't hesitate to show it. Sam felt that heavily. Simply put, you are no longer an actor, you are a presence if you can command attention without uttering a word. No need for Clint Eastwood to raise his voice. As he gazed, everyone around him paid attention. Sam, on the other hand, made notes. You can put on an act if you want to. Being commanding is more difficult to fake than being cool. Katharine Hepburn comes in at number 3. The fact that this name appears on Sam Elliott's list is surprising to most people, but that's also part of its charm. Instead than seeking admiration, Katharine Hepburn embraced it. Something exceptional about her stood out to Sam Elliott, whose career has been built on his calm strength. A strong-willed woman who refused to conform to anyone's ideal body type. In Sam's words, she possessed a brighter intellect than any male present. Hepburn wasn't merely competent, she excelled, she took the lead. She was always the center of attention, whether it was Jimmy Stewart, Spencer Tracy, or Cary Grant. With that type of force and equal footing, she played the game. Sam kept that memory alive. He has always maintained that the most effective performers are those who spare no word or gesture. Hepburn cut to the chase every time, with each rhythm purpose, every pause, calculated. In both the Philadelphia narrative and the one set on Golden Pond, she was fearless with words yet never had to raise her voice. For Sam, the respect was more than professional, it went deep into his soul. He once said that she was the most formidable presence in a delicate package, shown to Hollywood that all it takes to be strong is a strong will and no weapon. It needs no apology to stride confidently into the room while dressed in trousers and assert its dominance. What stayed with Sam was that. Why? Because below Sam Elliott's gravel voice, mustache and boots, is a code that underpins his whole career. Keep quiet when it matters and speak up when it does matter. Even before it was coined, Hepburn was living that code. In one scene from Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, she does nothing more than stare, yet her eyes betrayed her disapproval. This might have caused granite to break. Sam examined that power. He seeks for that type of presence. There was more to Katharine Hepburn than just trailblazing. She set them on fire and dares anyone to come after. As for Sam, who, to this day he still has no intention of joining her. He simply ensured that he was moving in the same direction. Dan Day-Lewis, number 4. When it comes to word choice, Sam Elliott isn't exactly a genius. However, not even Sam speaks up when discussing Daniel Day-Lewis. He once claimed that man doesn't do anything, he just vanishes, and it is its essence. Throughout his career, Elliott portrayed roles that required him to be silent, heavy, and commanding. Lewis, Daniel Day. He continues. He goes beyond playing a role, in it he vanishes. Sam noticed my left foot first. It wasn't simply the performance that grabbed his attention, it was the lack of ego, the control, and the patience. No pretense, no subtle nod to the viewers, simply complete immersion. The final Mohicans arrived after that. Sam drew closer at that moment. He joked about growing up in the woods, and I bought into it without question, even though he was from London. Since Daniel Day-Lewis is never airborne, truth on television, in Sam's view, isn't about accuracy, but about weight. He immerses himself in the character he's portraying. Rather than feeling acted, Lincoln, Daniel Plainview, and Reynolds Woodcock report feeling conjured. For Sam, that is holy ground. He compared seeing Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood to observing a slowly approaching storm. Unstoppable it is. Nobody dares to cut it off. Taking it easy is your best option. Sam holds that type of work in high regard. No matter how long it takes, complete emotional surrender is the only option. There are no quick cuts, no ego, and no safety net. He then vanishes once again. Just a guy who turns up, lights the screen on fire, and then disappears into silence. No press tours, no addiction to the red carpet. Day-Lewis doesn't appear interested in spending any money, and Sam respects that more than most. Attention is money in this profession. He exemplifies how terrible stillness can be, as Sam once put it, and how truth doesn't have to shout to be heard. Since charisma isn't necessary for Sam, Daniel Day-Lewis is on the list. Day-Lewis doesn't only portray characters, he needs conviction. He disappears without a trace. Sam Shepard, number 5. There was no distant adoration for this one. This hit close to home. No one owed Sam Elliott any less respect than Sam Shepard. When most actors hurried to fill the gap between lines, he felt him in the words and silences. They were unfilled by Shepard. "Let them breathe," he said. "When you're with Sam, you don't act. You sit in Elliott's weather," he once said. On High-Low Country, they collaborate. That movie that everyone remembers, but the actors in it never do. According to Elliott, working with Shepard on set for the first time was like entering a room that had a predetermined narrative. Shepard has other talents besides acting. In addition to being a poet and dramatist, he had a deeper understanding of human frailty than the average therapist. His protagonists were quiet. Subtly, they disbanded. With constraint, they ache. Such narrative style. This is the precise cadence that Sam Elliott has laboriously sought to master during his entire life. That rhythm was brought to life by Shepard, with ease. He also managed to keep it off-screen. No one at the table could hear him over the others. He avoided confrontations. However, the moment he spoke, all motion ceased. He possessed that unique quality of unwavering authority, which Elliott could sense right away. Sam mentioned that we didn't need to speak much. No problem. No, they weren't inseparable. They acknowledged each other, but they refrained from exchanging vacation photos. Rooted in simplicity, wary of ego, and devoted to the work, two men wired the same way. Elliott also did not offer a lengthy eulogy at Shepard's passing in 2017. Irreplaceable was all he said. That was it. Sam grieves in that way. Calm, thoughtful, conclusive. The manner in which Shepard's writing concepts of vulnerability, restraint and masculinity were on Sam's mind. His shows made it okay to show emotion without trying too hard. Actors were reminded by his appearance that, sometimes, mystery can be more effective than a well-crafted monologue. You can sense it every time Elliott steps onto a set and lets a pause hang just a second longer. Shepard is on top of things, while Sam keeps his list brief. Shepard remains present. 6th place goes to Jeff Bridges. Certain performers click. The one and only Jeff Bridges. He fit. Jeff Bridges and Sam Elliott were more than just collaborators. They were inseparable. The Big Lebowski served more as confirmation than a story about the beginning of a friendship. Both men were perfectly timed, had gravelly voices, and had no ego. Plus it was effective as they weren't bothered with proving anything. As Sam put it, he doesn't chase the scene, rather he becomes one with it. Sam only says good things about Bridges when he talks about performers that are relaxed, thoroughly examined and not messy, absolutely free. He never discloses his driving strategy, but he always arrives with a full tank. Plus Sam loves being spontaneous. Their sequences in The Big Lebowski were intimate and real. That conversation at the bar, there was half of it in the quiet. Instead of filling space, Jeff honored it. And Sam, he was totally jamming out to that beat. Since then they've run into each other multiple times. Consistent vigor at all times. End of drama and public relations spin. Merely two seasoned filmmakers that enjoy the craft. Bridges is the only performer, according to Sam, who has ever made him cry, laugh, and reconsider a phrase simultaneously. When Sam Elliott hears the name of someone, he usually cracks a smile. Yes, Jeff does. Bridges delivers something Sam cherishes above all else, and it has nothing to do with the beard or the legend. A breeze. Sam Elliott would never yell out to grab your attention. And those actors that he adores, neither did they ever have to. It wasn't a mere performance. Something was on their person. Calmness, power, a calm gravitas that defies instruction. Truth is its source. Nothing fluff. Complete silence. No more than that. Each of the actors, Gary Cooper, who held the fate of a town in his silence, Katharine Hepburn, who sliced through a room with stance alone, and Jeff Bridges, who transformed a bar stool into a rhythm masterclass, moved Sam emotionally without physically touching him. People really like these. You can make an impression without being overly boisterous. They proved it. You must truly believe it. To what extent were you taken aback by each? In the space provided, please inform us. Please like, and consider subscribing to the channel if you would like early access to such deep dives in the future. Reason being, what about the following list? Though it's heavier, that one is even quieter.